We're just waiting a couple of seconds again, as always. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we are going to talk about some very interesting news. Could this be the last chance? What is coming right now to accumulate? Could this be the last pullback that we are going to see? How deep can it go? How long will it be? And we are going to talk, obviously, also about the missing signature. We are going to talk about Ecomi and Veve in general, about price action and everything else. What you guys are interested. I see the discussion is running wild already, but all of that after the intro. So, good morning, everyone. I see you guys are ready already. G-Money is here bringing us the 3 coffees and the Hide the Pain hodler with the charts. Okay. I know what you want. Sandals Nation is here. Will Signature Gate be discussed? Absolutely, 100%. We will discuss it. It's just me ask what Signature Energy is here. GM, what last chance, and I didn't buy it. I better owe me. Hey, relax. It's not like last chance is like in this hour or so, and then it's over. The markets are moving a little bit more slow, but still we want to discuss what could be happening and how this last chance could look like, and also some other things. It just means that you talk about the Simpsons signature, then the issue has been resolved. Alex just put out an announcement a few hours ago, so here you get your information directly from the chat. May have been resolved does not change the fact that your NFT can be changed with an addition or deletion without notice. That should be, it can, but they didn't. But we will discuss this. So the possibility is known to us, but we will discuss this. It wasn't edited or deleted, it was an error that was fixed. Energy says, I just react to your thumbnail. Yeah, absolutely, react to my thumbnail, that's good. Last chance. Zach is here as well. Crypto afternoon whiskey from Australia. Oh man, that sounds so good. I mean, I don't know how the weather is in Australia, but we have like 2 degrees and rain, and it's about to snow again on in the afternoon or around lunchtime. It's just if you want to talk about NFT, except for Ordinance BTC, all NFT from all other blockchains are stored on Web 2 servers. Correct. Brandon says, what is the indicator that has 100% accuracy prediction bear and bull market reverses again? TSI, that is the TSI indicator, the total strength. So if you look for to total strength or TSI on TradingView, then you will see it. But let's get started, guys. Energy says it's like try coffee time here. Hey man, he's in Australia. Probably there's sun. He is drinking whiskey. You have to drink whiskey in Australia because you never know. The moment you turn around or go around a corner, there might be an animal trying to kill you. I'm just joking, but so you need to have your whiskey locked and loaded. Yeah. Anyways, So let's look at this a little bit. Yeah. So this is interesting from Plan B. In my opinion, ETFs like BlackRock are currently front-loading BTC through miners instead of exchanges. So that means that we never have the inflow basically, and thus maybe even OTC it doesn't really affect the prices, right? Buying BTC directly on exchanges would impact the price too much. Buying indirectly from miners would impact hash rate, but not so much the price. Might explain current hash rate explosion. And you see it here, since you can buy Bitcoin with dollar directly or with kilowatts indirectly, there is an arbitrage modeled with the red line. So we'll see this here, right? On this chart here, yeah, with the red line, with the hash rate. So let's just see quickly what else is modeled with the red line. Difficulty hash rate is rising fast. So what do miners know what investors don't know yet? Or are ETFs buying through miners? So that is the big question. Maybe these ETFs are loading up on that, and this is why we're seeing the rise in the difficulty. Yeah, this is crucial. MVE is here, GM. Green Lantern is here, GM. Raining in Heidelberg. Yeah, still raining here as well. But it's about in my weather forecast app, at least it says it will snow. So who knows? I like snow. I like snow more than rain. Let's put it that way. There we go. So this is already what I was talking about. So if this all holds true, but we're still seeing a pullback. Okay, at the moment we're seeing a little bit of a correction. Let's put it that way. Now you can see here from the last cycles, and we're not even discussing the one with the sea crisis that we had. But from the last cycles, you can see that there was the same pattern unfolding that we have right now. And then there was one last pullback, even with a wick down to this previous level. So technically, if he would have drawn in the wick down, there would be the possibility to wick down to somewhere 26,000 in Bitcoin, right? And that could be this rounding here could be the last chance to get in. Now that we're headed into Christmas, and that maybe there will be sell-offs for tax harvesting, sell-offs for traveling, sell-offs for presents, and so on, we could get this last pullback into the entire December. Who knows? We don't know, right? So, and that would put us directly on track in repeating this pattern. Yeah, then we would have this last accumulation here. By the way, guys, we have 15 people here, so make sure to smash up the like button right now to get more people in here to discuss with us about everything from golden moment statues that lost their signature to everything else. So smash up that like button, and yeah, then we get more. Yeah, it's already starting. You see, you smash the like, more people coming in here. So thank you for the like, and with that, let's continue here. So that is really, and if it's true what Plan B said, that the ETFs are buying through miners, and that's why the hash rate is going up so much. I mean, miners are in general increasing operation because they see that there is decreasing uncertainty also in the energy market. They pump out energy, and they know that their difficulty is going to increase in April, right? So I have another video for you guys. It's here from what is it called? Jeff Booth. Brilliantly explains how the current financial system extracts value from the people while decentralizing money system like Bitcoin gives it back. So let's also look at this, because I think people more and more understand what's happening to them and to their financial situation. But let's listen together quickly. It's only about a minute or so.
The natural state of a free market is deflation. And if you have technology moving as fast as it's moving, the natural state of a free market is massively deflationary. In other words, we should probably be, if all things were equal today, we didn't live in this kind of manipulated money system and the debt was repaid. If all things were equal today, I'll bet you would have about 5% annually deflation rate in the economy, meaning the entire world would be getting richer at 5% per year as they worked less and got more. And that would go faster as AI moved faster, right? As AI moved into robotics, that rate of deflation, in other words, everyone would have to work less and get more for every year forevermore. And so we have that system that is essentially the Bitcoin system, where prices, because of the 21 million cap, right, you can't manipulate money. And it means in the Bitcoin system, all prices are falling. Exactly like I said, it's measuring the free market. It's measuring prices falling to the marginal cost of production. It's measuring exponential productivity. And as long as it stays decentralized and secure, which we both think is inevitable, right? Then no matter what anybody does, doesn't matter what people yell at it, governments try to stop it, as long as it stays decentralized and secure, it is measuring the productivity flowing to society in the form of lower prices.
Okay, so I think that viewpoint is very interesting because obviously this doesn't mean that that fiat as a means of transaction between governments and so on is going away. But the hypothetical scenario of you getting value out of having a capped means of transaction, which would be Bitcoin, would then reflect with increasing productivity that everyone that is participating in that system like Bitcoin would see those returns. And that's actually already what's happening, in my opinion. So right now it's rising fast. I mean, at some point there will be saturation. I don't know if that is 3 or 4 or somewhat cycles in the future, but the returns will probably not be as exorbitant than they are right now. But yeah, people will get value out of that. So this is also interesting, and it ties a little bit into the last chance thing, and that is that Plankton addresses, so the ones that hold less than 0.01, less than a percent of one Bitcoin, they reached an all-time high of 37.5 million. So there could be a couple of reasons for that. First of all, it could be that some people from retail also buying a little bit of Bitcoin right now. That could be one reason, although I'm not quite sure if that's the case because Bitcoin doesn't really make the headlines. Or that people that have been in the market but have never bought Bitcoin. There are a couple of people that never bought Bitcoin. They just buy altcoins and they buy Ethereum and so on, that they got a little bit of Bitcoin. That could be also a reason. Or it could be in those countries where it's now in the news that there are ETFs and so on, that people still decide to buy some Bitcoins, right? But probably people bought the dip. So as someone said here, the pleb army is growing. Yeah, so Plankton is really, what would that be today? So you would be less than 300, I think it would, 0.01 would be less than $500, I think. Less than 370, right? If Bitcoin is at 37,000. So that is really like a little bit of change going in. Also in some countries, 307 for the average worker, $370 for the average worker is quite a bit of money. So overall, that also shows you that we are more likely than not in this upward sloping trajectory, right? Where we were in the previous bull market, which coincides with the other screen that we've just looked at with the last chance, that was somewhere, that pullback somewhere, I don't know where it is here. But you see that the Plankton army is growing, or Plankton addresses are growing along this parabolic move. And now somehow we flipped from a negative growth to a higher growth. This negative growth also can be if a lot of planktons are actually becoming bigger than that, becoming shrimps, right? So overall, it's interesting to see that, and to see it with the yeah, here we see it, right? So here we see this move up, parabolic move, orange line, and then the address change you see here, right? So the overall holding of Plankton addresses you see here, and then the change you see here. Now, let me go to the next one. This is also interesting. It says here, a new mystery whale continues its daily ritual of purchasing hundreds of Bitcoin every morning. So he's like doing morning DCA, adding another 500 Bitcoin to their stack today alone. At this pace, they'll likely own one of the top 100 largest Bitcoin addresses by the week's end. That is crazy, right? So here we see it, the transactions down below. So this guy literally this guy or institution or whatever literally every day is DCAing with 1,000 1.064 thousand Bitcoin, then 73 Bitcoin, then 1,000 Bitcoin, then 1,092 Bitcoin, then 504 Bitcoin. So and all around 37,000 more or less. Yeah. And then yeah, absolutely crazy. So yeah, interesting. It's adding every day. I don't know if that is adding by purchase or adding by mining operation. I do not know, but it says received, so not quite sure. But probably it's from transactions. So profits from price change of this wallet apparently is 634,000 US dollars. So that is crazy. Probably a DCAing since the bottom or so. Yeah, so we see overall, and here we see it from the miners, as I've said before, that let me just quickly get this. Yeah, this is for some people. Some people didn't. Oh, look, Dogecoin confirmed. But some people really don't. I think they don't understand how insane the energy consumptions are, and I'm not saying that because energy needs to be discussed in the sense of green or not, but just that people know how such a mining operation looks like, right? There's literally people gearing up with mining equipment like that, and this is still a smaller farm, right? So we have seen in months ago in a stream the one that is connected to a nuclear reactor. So that is also pretty insane. Yeah, then we'll have some ECB numbers, I think, out today or tomorrow. I think tomorrow. I discussed it in yesterday's stream, but I don't remember if it was Wednesday or Tuesday, but I think it was Wednesday, where we are getting those numbers out. And let's also look at at one more video here that is discussing recession. Let me see. So there we go. Just mute myself. If it will load. I don't know why it isn't loading.
Strong an economic.
Okay, so here we go. Sorry for that. Okay, apparently I cannot jump in this video, which is absolutely shitty because I don't want to play the first part because the first part had nothing to do with it. So I have no idea why this does not work. Why doesn't it work? Why doesn't it work?
an economic contraction in the third quarter. In the Netherlands, there's news too. What do you make of the tone there?
Well, so the ECB is trying to do one thing at the moment. They're trying to push back against expectations for rate cuts next year. But then, of course, as you said in the introduction, basically what's happening is the ECB is now done raising interest rates. So now there's a little bit of tug of war between them and markets. For our part, we think the ECB probably cuts rates earlier than they themselves would expect, because we think inflation is now coming down quicker than they had expected. But so far, until they get a new forecast, which they will get in December, they'll continue to strike a relatively hawkish tone relative to the expectations of rate cuts next year.
What about the Eurozone economy? I think everyone expects that Germany is in recession or headed there. Can the rest of the Eurozone remain resilient?
So, I mean, if we define recessions as sort of 2 consecutive quarters of falling GDP, we think Germany is now there. The Eurozone is probably there as well for Q3, Q4, but it's still very shallow, right? So, it depends. If you come from the starting point that, we thought that the wheels would come off the economy, would have a massive crisis with the energy shock and the war in Ukraine. Of course, what we're seeing now is resilient, but overall it's pretty poor, and it looks to be pretty weak at the start of next year as well. So there's not really much to write home about. It's sort of middling, not much going on, shallow recession.
Okay, so overall we see here that these guys are estimating a shallow recession compared, and if we're looking at the bears in our crypto space, they are expecting recession or something like, I showed this to you, right? Like Crypto Savvy and these guys, they are expecting a meltdown of the magnitude of 1929 with hyperinflation and I don't know what. And 100% there are problems, no doubt about it. But we are not at the point yet. And for sure, the politicians that we have, yeah, they will take good care of that we are getting at the disastrous scenario. But mostly, and at many times, it takes longer than we expect. And every crash prophet and everyone is always saying, hey, look, it's going to happen right now. There is not going to be a new all-time high for Bitcoin because we're all going to collapse, because Ray Dalio made a book about the super cycles of the countries, which is hundreds of years and so on. So I think sometimes people really don't see that within the disaster coming, you can have several bear and bull markets still until you are facing that really big disastrous moment. Yeah, I mean, we see it, we have some unrest, we have some turmoil, but I've said it in the other stream where I showed some of these bear scenarios. I said it before, it's like, to get there you need a situation where you have high unemployment, you have mega inflation, where just the government has to bring out new bills by the week, like 100 billion mark bill from Germany and so on. We are not there yet. Yeah. Let's quickly look at altcoin layer ones as well. I think this was interesting here from Coin Analytics. At the moment, the daily transactions on Ethereum versus popular layer 2 platforms are looking quite interesting. We see here Arbitrum is by far the one with the most transactions, then Ethereum, then ZK Sync, then Linear, Base, Optimism is back here, Mantle, Polygon only 103k, so that is around 24 times less than Arbitrum, and then Starknet and so on. So interesting to see it from this perspective. Energy says we will get there, just wait 1 year. Yeah, and this also could be 2 or 3 years, that's the thing. But in 1 year we are already in the middle of the bull run, probably, which coincides here with this guy saying $1 billion investment manager Dan Tapiro says, I think the next bull run into 2025 we'll see Bitcoin over 100,000, and he says, I think that's a pretty conservative estimate. This guy is a bull. Yeah, so let's look at Bitcoin here. So actually from yesterday to today, not really much has changed, but we're going to reevaluate anyway. So the only thing that has changed is that if we're looking at this 4 hourly, that we have been from this local high, which was a new high, we are down a couple of percent. So 4.34%, right? And there could be a reason now to wait and see if you're looking for us to come back down once more to this upward sloping line. We are seeing that we have a lot of touch points here, yeah, for this price compression at the moment. And the more we are hitting this line here, the higher the chance that we could actually see a pullback here. And I mean, we are due a pullback, but it doesn't necessarily have to happen here. So if we see, for me, this is like I'm DCAing no matter what. But if we see a pullback here, where, for example, to this line, or at least down to 34,400, where I think a lot of buyers will come in, then I will buy also more, right? I will go away from a regular DCA. And if we are seeing a pullback down to 31,000 to retest this, and then to come up back again, then I will be going really hard here, as hard as I can on crypto. Yeah, and at this point, I can already tell you that we will hear the bears coming back into the game. At the moment we lose this level, they will intensify. The moment we are losing this, the bears will go really crazy, and about the I told you so, it's going to 10,000, it's going to 3,000, everything is crashing, the market is dying, I don't know what. They will all go crazy about this, and this would have nothing to do with fundamentals. Pullbacks of, what would that be, 20% are absolutely normal in a bull market. Yeah, pullbacks from time to time of 20%, even of 25% would be absolutely normal, and that are great buying opportunities in my opinion. If we do not, however, get our pullback here and we have a breakout and open close beyond 38,000, I think we're going straight to 41,000, and we're going to find our next range from where a potential pullback could be coming. But since we are headed in December, and since people are seeking to do tax harvesting, selling off coins, traveling, need more money in the end of the year, yada yada yada, that could be the case that we get our pullback right now. And that would be then, going back to what I said before, that would then be really, in my opinion, the last chance to, obviously not the last chance to buy any crypto projects or so, but in Bitcoin, it would be the last chance to get into good prices that are in the 30,000 range. I do not think that we are, after this last big pullback, that we're going to revisit low prices like we have seen them in this bear market bottom or bear market trough. So we are going to observe this. I cannot tell you in all honesty how deep this would be if this breaks, and this can play out well over the entire December, that we have something like that, or a drop and then another drop, and then we're already at Christmas, right? And then, or going into the new year, and from there we're coiling up, and one gets excited because they realize that the halving is about 4 months away. So this is so Energy asks a really good question, and this depends on your attitude. So usually, if you're looking at BTC dominance here, why are we looking at Bitcoin so much, right? Bitcoin dominance over the entire market looks like this at the moment. That is a clear uptrend. Yeah. So that means that Bitcoin has, in total, with the exception of some altcoin projects, but also Ecomi, has outperformed all of these projects and will outperform all of these projects. Let me get this just better here for you. So here we have it, right? So Bitcoin dominance is on a parabolic move. I think Bitcoin dominance will continue to increase. For example, there are two ways of Bitcoin dominance to increase. One is Bitcoin pumps, and much harder than the overall altcoin market does, and also including Ethereum, right? And the other one is Bitcoin corrects, but not as much as the altcoins and the rest of the space. So both leads to an increase, and we see it right here. Bitcoin dominance is green while Bitcoin is red, but the altcoins are correcting harder at the moment than Bitcoin in itself. So Bitcoin dominance is rising. So if Bitcoin would crash, I would expect, for example, Bitcoin have a 20 or 15% pullback. The altcoins have 30 to 40% to go to pullback. That's where you can get into some altcoins, but still you have to see that as long as this is rising, technically it would be better to be in Bitcoin and then move out of Bitcoin into altcoins. Except if you're really good and you can identify the projects that that have been moving. Obviously, you don't want to miss the altcoin, right? But technically, you would want to be in Bitcoin and then take out Bitcoin profits into altcoins just before the altcoin season or when altcoin season starts. That is a pro move, and it doesn't work like that in many countries. In Germany, for example, there's no sense in this because if you are not holding over 1 year, you have to pay taxes on the gains, right? So you would rather sit in altcoins that are already 1 year old and then take big profits on them, right? Yeah, I'm in Germany. I have to hold it 1 year. No flipping here. Exactly, but I'm telling this for the entire audience. So this is the reason. So this is one thinking. The other thinking why you want to have Bitcoin is that altcoins are relatively risky. So even top 50 altcoins, they can die. So you're diversified in altcoins, fine, but you can still lose your position, right? Even projects like famous L1s can go down. We saw that in with Terra Luna collapse. So people were really aping into Terra Luna at a really bad point, and lost a ton of money, right? So if you say that your portfolio, let me just outline this here. If you say that your portfolio is 50% BTC, okay, that's Bitcoin, right? And the rest is altcoins, like all types of altcoins, right? Even if all of this, let's that have that yellow, and now, okay. So even if all of this or a big part of this dies because you made some really unlucky choices, this here will pull you up, yeah, because I mean that the chances are really high that Bitcoin doubles, triples, quadruples, so you will still make profits, right? So this, for me, this part of the portfolio is always going to save me, and at the same time, it's probably outperforming over the longer haul this part of the portfolio, right? This part that could die, that is risky. And then in altcoin season, it's the other way around. I have my Bitcoin, I am big in profits, and then this part is going to outperform the portfolio where I want to start moving stuff back in Bitcoin, but not right away, right? So if in altcoin season you want to move it basically into fiat, and then from there in the bear market back into Bitcoin, so that you have a big Bitcoin chunk for the next cycle. Obviously, everyone is talking already right now about a super cycle, but we cannot go from something that never happened, right? Just because we get Bitcoin ETFs now. There will always be a narrative that brings Bitcoin back into a bear market so that whales can accumulate again, market makers accumulate again. The question is only, for example, if you go to a $300,000 Bitcoin and you correct in a bear market to $200,000, you only have a 33% correction there. That could be a bear market in the future, but still it would be a bear market, right? And you would still be better off if you then go out of the market and back in the market after a correction, yeah. So yeah, is that not a move for old guys or rich guys? Poor guy like me has to full degen. I don't know, because it depends a little bit. So let's say I have $20,000 at hand and I had allocated $10,000 at and around the bottom. I would be up at $20,000 only on the Bitcoin side, right? Whereas with Ecomi, I would be still stuck with about $7,000 if I accumulated somewhere throughout this bear market phase. So looking at Ecomi, for example, I mean, there's not really many people in profit right now except the very initial investors. So Bitcoin, even though it's an old or a guy's move, would have now given you the chance to take a couple of thousand out of Bitcoin and put it into altcoins like that, right? So I'm not saying that it's wrong and everyone has to find their own strategy. Yeah, it's just my thinking. What I believe is going to happen. What's really going to be interesting here for Ecomi is if we're slowly reversing, because if we are looking at the day, for example, we're still, I mean, this is technically our bottom, so we are still forming a bottom pattern here, and if we can make this also into kind of a W, and we're going up from here, I think we really have a bullish move in front of us. So something is brewing, in my opinion, yeah, for Ecomi and Veve. But we will see. I mean, if we now come down and we are just taking out all of these these stops here, then yes, then we're looking with very scared eyes on this level here, but still to form that mega double bottom, right, or something like a triple bottom. We cannot lose this level, but I don't know if it will happen, because I see that at the moment, since 2 weeks, we're forming this here. Oops, sorry, we're forming this this here, yeah. So Jordan says, let's go, Omi. Smash the like button if you want Omi to go up. Yeah, absolutely. Smash the like button if you want to have Omi going up here right now. Energy says, doesn't matter. Everyone can do what they want. NFA. No, 100%. And it's really NFA, because I'm telling you what I do and how I see it. And there will be always degens that are 100% in one specific coin, or that are with big money in one specific coin, and that do extremely well. What you often do not hear is how someone does that is degen into a coin that really does poorly and that is dying, right? So that also happens, but you usually do not get these stories. So be very careful out there. That's all I'm saying. But I agree, if you only have a couple of $100 at hand, you will not, probably it's not going to be life-changing money if you put it all in Bitcoin. Yeah, then you will have $2,000 after the bull run. Yeah. Jordan says, no, you must buy Omi only. Jokes. I have 13 projects now. Great. That is good to see. We got two things. So first of all, Jordan and the others, they influenced me to buy more Omi, and I hopefully had a little bit to do with the influence that Jordan and others are a little bit diversified now. But yeah, that's how we influence each other. So let's see how Ecomi is doing. By the way, Jordan, I urge you and I challenge you to do a It's the end of the year. At least in December, it's the end of the year. I urge you to make a video where you are recapping the price predictions that we made on your channel. I remember myself saying somewhere here that at the end of the year we're going to be at and about at the same prices. Yeah. Jordan says, yeah, UPH, Doctor of Stuff and Rain all convinced me. That's great, and I think you will have a ton of value out of that in the bull run. 100%. Because not all coins are going off and exploding at the same time, so you always have something where you can take action, right? Energy says, how should I get my 100 million OMI when I have to diversify? That is true. If that is your sole and only goal, then that is true. How would you get that? I don't know. For me, I have 4 million, maybe 5 million would look nice in my portfolio, but I really don't want to have Ecomi pass much more than 15%. Because if I lose 15% of my portfolio somewhat, yeah, so Jordan says, but on my price predictions, I had the condition if we got bronze tickets and one good exchange, but we didn't get those. And yes, you are right, but we still have December left. Okay, so, but the question was where we are price-wise until the end of the year, and it's the end of the year, but you're probably talking about the 31st of December. So yeah, okay, maybe we're just going 30 more days like this. Who knows? Maybe there is an accumulation zone in December where we are at these prices, but hopefully I'm wrong. Honestly, hopefully I'm wrong. I hope that we are going out of this zone, that we're going to go out of this, break out here, but I really don't see that in this year anymore, so I'm sticking with my price prediction. That first altcoin rally that OMI didn't budge was wake-up call for OMI maxes. Yeah, I think so. I think so, because OMI is a different animal, and it really drives people crazy, and I still think that it has to do with major whale manipulation in this price chart or in this market. With the low liquidity opens up vulnerability to whale games and whale action, and at the same time the team, now we know, or now we suspect that the team cannot do anything because of several lawsuits probably that are pending, that they are waiting for expiry on that. So we see. Jordan says, imagine if it goes to my prediction of 006 to 008 in December. Man, I mean, you'll have more than a 10x to make your prediction go to happen. So that would be 006. There we go. That's a 9x. Yeah, something like that. Almost a 10x. Jordan says, I could spend time with the wife now. Love, PA, love you. Yeah, man, really appreciate that you were coming on here. Thank you so much. And we'll see how your prediction plays out. I don't see it yet, also because of what David said, that they cannot do anything about the token until a certain expiry date, and I really doubt that this is expiring this year. So I think that one, you guys lost that one, but we are going to see. Overall, though, I think the chart is not looking too bad here. I mean, sure, we did not see returns as we did out of some other coins, but these coins, they will have hard pullbacks also in the next time. So we'll see how OMI behaves in that time. Maybe OMI goes up when these coins have pullbacks. Jordan says, hey, maybe 002, we're lucky at this stage. I think if we see major price action, it will come in the end of January, February, as small altcoin rally before Bitcoin halving, and then also together with some news on OMI in the new year. I don't think they will put out news on Omi significant news within this year, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong. Let's look at this quickly. It's very interesting in my opinion. This from Sergio. Not many people realize that the functionality to make an offer on Veve collectibles is already available on Immutable X. They just need to enable it. So it's not a matter of if, but when this happens. So making an offer for collectibles is very appealing in my opinion. And I think that is also something that we need, so that you can make an offer that Veve mechanisms can run through the offers before they get approved and basically allowed, so to say, and that they can identify malicious actors and so on when that is done. But I think it will. I think it should come. It hopefully will come, and I hope there will be some integration with Immutable X as well. Then we had this discussion apparently overnight, where someone said, "This pissed me off." So the Matt Groening signature was gone, and you see it here in the screenshot. It's not here, but you also see there's more that is not there. The lighting and everything, like the brilliance and reflection, is not there. So the discussion comes up once again about modifying and so on. The reason why this happened is this. LXG clarified it right away. Texture mapping was covering the signature apparently. iOS has been updated, Android in progress, apologies for the confusion. So it's not a big deal, and the information that this signature from Matt Groening is there has not been removed. That is the bottom line. So it's not even a modification, it's just a display error. It's just, this can happen to almost 99% of all NFTs theoretically on an app like that, because you're displaying that NFT, and if you have an error in displaying it or so, all NFTs are stored. Almost all NFTs, besides a couple of NFTs, are stored on Web2 servers, so there can always be happening. So if, for example, AWS has an outage, most of the NFTs will not load. Okay, so that is happening right away. So people are very sensible right now. Anything negative that is happening is now a big topic, and we see here obviously the scare is there. We understand that. And G Money says we were panicking before Alex clarified. 100%. I understand that. But we also should keep it cool, simple, cool. If they had removed this, that would be super bad. That would be devastating. That would be an atomic meltdown in the Veve space. Then probably people would really be like, okay, there's some crazy stuff, right? So I hope no one sold it because of that. Because it didn't get removed in any way. I think this will be forgotten in 2 seconds. Yeah. And then just a quick recap from yesterday. The whole thing here from Ecomi Watcher. You can see it here right now. I reacted to Omi Watcher. You see here now, this post is unavailable, so they have actually taken down the post. Mission accomplished, I'd say. To clarify where this comes from, I still believe that criticism is well and good where it's due in this space. I still stick to that. I will still call out Ecomi and Veve whenever there's something going wrong, but in this case that was not the case, so I think this clarifies it. Yeah, so with that said, make sure to follow me on Twitter as well. And yeah, for today, that's it, guys. Make sure to smash up the like button. We have 30 people constantly here now on the Crypto Morning Coffee. I see people are more interested in stuff than they were a couple of months ago. That coincides with price increases. So guys, smash up the like button. Really, to a new all-time high. That would be very interesting, very, very good. And enjoy your coffees. Yeah, like I enjoy mine. Guys, Crazy Dan says it's free to like the button, so hit it. Yeah, absolutely. It's free to like the button. That is a good one. Yeah, guys, do some get some degenerate likes on that button. Absolutely. So, guys, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. And I see you in tomorrow's Crypto Morning Coffee, and very likely for another video today, because we're going to look on at Stacker together. That is going to happen. So, guys, have a good one. You're the GOAT. Thank you very much. Bye.